Welcome to another episode of Mixed Reactions. I am your host, Casey Merritt, joined along by my two co-hosts, Ian Blackwell and Justin Duncan. How you boys doing tonight?
Surprisingly well for a Tuesday after this last weekend. Doing all right.
Hasn't happened to you much this year. I'm happy for you. How's it going for you, Ian?
Not well at all. Not only did we all get absolutely slaughtered on our picks, but USC and the Rams lost, and I'm going to have a lot to say about that. And you might want to put the kids to bed because it's not going to be pretty.
Drink your stars away, friend. Drink your stars away.
Absolutely looking forward to hearing those takes. I don't know if you guys know this or not. We record these shows on a Tuesday night, so the NBA season's officially tipped off. So we're definitely going to get into that. We are going to start traditional here at Mixed Reactions tonight and start with the NFL. Justin, I want to go right to you on this one. You guys played a pretty good game. You finally got a win against a quality opponent. Now, I want to get your take on if you feel it was a more of an indictment to Buffalo, or do you feel maybe New England has finally get their footing behind them?
It's hard to say either way. Buffalo was playing defensively shorthanded against the Patriots. They're still without Tre'Davious White and Von Miller. Josh Allen, in Josh Allen fashion, gave up the ball first play of the game. So he's got an issue with ball security on his part.
Absolutely.
It was laughable to see, like, wow, 10-0, and we haven't even gotten past the first 10 minutes of the game.
I was still on the toilet.
Exactly.
It almost felt like it was New England Buffalo 2011 or something.
Or Brady era Buffalo, but New England, absolutely. It really did feel that way. Mac Jones played out of his mind for the first time since the Minnesota game last year. It
was arguably the best game of Mac Jones' career.
275 and 2 touchdowns, no picks. He
picks.
Didn't throw it to the other team.
That is outstanding of Mac Jones when you really think about it, especially the way he's turned the ball over this year. One thing a stat that I kind of wanted to point out to you guys and see where your take on it is, of course, we know the atrocities that happened with his offensive coordinators last year. And I feel like what Bill O'Brien kind of did with Mac Jones is maybe put the training wheels back on him in a sense, slowed things down for him, make him throw them checkdowns, make him throw his quick screens. As of Sunday, did you guys realize that not a single pass he threw went over 20 yards? Not a single one.
I think about that's crazy. I thought he threw like at least 2 or 3 over 20 yards, but yeah, you're right. I'm thinking the Ramondre Stevenson one. It was it was a catch rather for 35 yards. So
yes, I'm talking about air travel distance. Not a single ball went over 20 yards.
That's crazy. But I think about it, and that was the recipe of how he became a, granted, very far down the line alternate Pro Bowler in his rookie year.
Absolutely.
In the Josh McDaniels system, he dinked and dunked, nickeled and dimed his way, and that's how he was successful as a rookie. Maybe that's what you got to do, at least to develop him. Bill O'Brien has shown time and again in his coaching career that he can do that. And we were touching on this a couple days ago, Casey and I. Bill Belichick, when he hired Joe Judge and Matt Patricia to run the offense, he stole a year of Mac Jones' career and development.
Absolutely.
And I don't think it's even questionable.
There's zero debate about that. I could not agree with you more, Justin. He stole a year from Mac Jones, a crucial year, too. That sophomore year of development, Christ, look at the jump Trevor Lawrence made from his rookie year to his sophomore year. It's such a crucial year for development, and it's got stolen away by two men who did not know how to sniff an offense, let alone coach one.
It just unexcusable and unforgivable, to be honest. But what I would say in terms of the Patriots, whether this was a good Patriots performance or a bad Bills performance, I'm going to say it's a mixture of both. The Patriots played to their potential defensively, for sure, and kind of catching a little bit of lightning in a bottle offensively, because you and I both know, you guys all both know, Devontae Parker ain't no barn burner anymore. Kendrick Bourne is a nice 2, is a solid 2, but that's about it. I really like what they're getting out of Demario Pop Douglas. I really like the rookie, 6th-round rookie. He's showing flashes, which is nice to see.
He's got some speed. He's got some wheels on him.
Yep. I still think they're missing a lot of that speed in Marcus Jones, who they also are missing on the defensive front too. And
Agreed.
Obviously, Christian Gonzalez and Matt Judon defensively. So I'm not really ready to write this team off per se because they had such a good game, but I'm also not quite ready to say, okay, we're back. We're not there yet. This was a very good stepping stone, but not a okay, we're back now, or we still suck. It's still, the jury's still out. If it weren't for this week, I would say we're done. Take for Caleb's, continue on, but this gave me at least a glimmer of hope that we're not actively taking.
Well, it's crazy because I know last week you said New England's a bottom 2 team, and I don't think you can make that case directly this week. We'll see how the season progresses to ensure. Like, of course, you don't have an easy task this week either. You're going against Miami, who's going to be pissed off after getting that beat down from Philadelphia. And so I think it's a really, really another strong test for New England. We'll see how well they respond to that victory. We'll see how that defense can handle Miami's offense, of course, and we'll see if Mac Jones continues to keep them training wheels on. You got to learn to ride the bike before the training wheels come off. There's no question about that. I don't think Mac is ready for the training wheels to come off quite yet, especially what happened to him last season, which, to be fair to all quarterbacks, we can't just keep using that either as an excuse for Mac Jones. Sure, he got the shit end of the stick last year, but at some point, if Mac wants to show that he's going to be a true starting franchise quarterback in this league, even if it's not for the Patriots, he has to put that season behind him. And what he has to do is put his best foot forward, continue to learn and develop and grow. And I'm not sure if he has the talent to do so, unfortunately. We both know, and Justin, I've been saying this to you for 3 or 4 years, ever since he got drafted, I feel Mac Jones has a high floor, but a low ceiling.
Yep.
I don't think he's ever going to be great.
He needs to live up to his low floor potential.
Absolutely. His low ceiling potential.
High floor potential, I should say. I'm sorry.
Yes. You're fine. His high floor potential is what he needs to do. I think Mac Jones has the potential to be an average NFL quarterback, which is still a phenomenal football player. Let's not act like
20, maybe not top 10.
Yeah, anywhere between 20 to 14. I think that's his ceiling. Anywhere between 20 to 14. Fair. I don't feel he's never going to. I don't even want to disrespect him by saying this.
Is 10 to 11. That's his ceiling. 10 to 11. He's never going to be elite.
I was going to say, I don't even want to disrespect the other top-notch quarterbacks by saying their names in the same conversation as him. Mac Jones is never going to be Patrick Mahomes. Ever.
Never going to be in what you refer to as the elites of the league. Never.
No, absolutely not.
Don't expect him to. Don't set that expectation for him. That's unfair to him. It's a disservice to him.
Yes, but let him grow, let him develop.
Yep, and maybe I was too soon to write him off to be his make or break year, considering what they did to him last year. Maybe.
I get it. I see what I understand your point on that, but as a Patriots fan,
especially with what's coming down the pike, quarterback-wise in college football, this kind of has to be a make or break year.
Exactly. It almost has to be it doesn't matter what happened to him last year, especially with you being the Patriots fan. It's not that you're let's put it like this. You're not a Mac Jones fan. You're a Patriots fan. If they could somehow get rid of Mac Jones and trade for Trevor Lawrence, you would do it 40,000 times in a row over.
I wouldn't lose any week of sleep over it. Not one.
No, you would be happy. You would wake up and be like, wow, I actually have a real quarterback. That's what you would think. And so that's my point on Mac Jones just can't keep lolling on, oh, well, look what happened to me last year. He's got to learn from it, and he's got to grow, and he's got to develop. Okay. And until that time frame comes, I still think this has to be his make or break year. If he continues to grow and continues to develop and has 4 or 5 more games like he had on Sunday, then sure, I could see him still being New England's quarterback going forward. But he hasn't shown, to me at least, he has not shown the consistency nor the talent level to be able to do that yet.
One final thing I'll say about Mac Jones is, considering the injuries that the Patriots have suffered defensively, I'm not going to cast my final judgment on him based on their overall record, because if they get blown out because their defense is now Swiss cheese, that's not on Mac.
That's fair.
I'm not going to.
But if you're only putting up 10 points a game, if you're only putting up 10 points a game, if he's only
getting 10, like if we're only kicking field goals and only scoring 10 to 14 points a game, that's different. But if we're scoring 17 to 25 to 30 points a game, even if we lose, I'm not going to throw in the towel on Mac Jones until he starts really sucking wind.
That's fair. And I'm not going to dispute that. That's a completely fair and well thought out point. Now, I want to shift gears for a second to Ian, because as you said in your opening monologue, Ian, you had a terrible weekend.
Bad day.
Bad weekend for him as a whole. As to you, which loss hurt more personally? USC losing or the Rams?
That's a really good question, actually. I don't know why I didn't think of it like that. Because obviously with our defense, I was just kind of waiting with USC, I should say, his defense, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it did. We lost to a dude that worked at fucking Lowe's last year. The Rams, I was starting to gain a little bit of hope. And that was more of a I feel like miscues lost us the Rams game, whereas our shitty ass defense had USC lose. People want to put the emphasis on that spot. I get it was a poor spot late in the game, but when you have Maher come out and miss 2 field goals, one of them would have put was beginning of the fourth quarter, would have put us up by 10. You're not going to win a game. I don't blame the refs at all. We got outplayed, and I told you guys it was going to be a road game. It was all Steelers fans. Like, I walked away
100%.
for a second from the TV.
I went with my wife, and I went out on that one. Shockingly
You did.
enough.
I mean, I had the Steelers too. Yeah.
I think Ian did pick the Steelers.
Yeah, and I think Sean and Casey both had, or no, Casey. I don't know. Did Sean have the Rams? Well, we're gonna get to that in a second. I know you had the Rams and you lost. But yeah, no, it was just tough. Looks like your wife knew what the fuck she was talking about, because I mean, you just, like Mary Casey said, you just didn't want to sleep on the couch. But I mean, it was a toss up, man, going in. Like it could have gone either way. It was obviously a home game for them. Nakua, I don't know if you guys saw it, had one of the catches of the.
That was an insane catch.
That was almost catch of the year so far.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, I mean, he's, I'm a firm believer in, once their second season comes around, once there's more tape on a guy, we'll really see what he's made of. But he's looking like he's going to be around for a while. Kupp got targeted 70 times, only 2 catches for 29 yards. It was a winnable game. I mean, I just miscues. We missed a field goal, and then we let them come down and score on us. It was pretty much all it was, and so that it was just a tough one to watch, man. I'm not gonna lie. Just miscues is really all it was. I mean, I would say we beat ourselves more in the state, because if we make that field goal, it's a 10-point game. And even though we couldn't stop them on the drive that tied the game, nor the drive that ended up giving Pittsburgh the lead, a 10-point game is gonna make Matt Canada, call different plays. So
of course it is.
That was a tough loss. Now I want to switch gears to USC.
Yeah, I got a question for you about that one, man, because USC has looked like dog crap last couple weeks.
First of all, before you jump in, I want to say one thing about USC. I want to steal a line from Bart Scott after the 2012 divisional round against New England. Their defense can't stop a nosebleed.
No, it can't. But guys, has Caleb Williams been exposed?
I mean, I don't know. I would say he's still at 256 yards passing. He didn't throw a pick. He didn't throw a touchdown pass. He had one with his legs. I mean, that really didn't show me as much about Caleb. I know a lot of people were, as far as negative about Caleb. I know a lot of people.
I agree. This loss was more on the defense than it was on Caleb. But I want you to go off on them for a minute. What has happened to USC in the past 2 weeks? From going from borderline top 5 being in college football playoff talks to you could argue they don't belong in the top 25 anymore.
I don't think we belong in the top 25. Before I do cook, and believe me, I'm cooking with grease over here. What was your question about USC, Justin, or was that it about Caleb?
That was my question. Had Caleb Williams been exposed, considering the last couple of weeks of how he's been playing?
I mean, honestly, I think at this point, Penix shit is I don't know, man. Caleb
Washington, USC both USC obviously lost, but Washington should have lost by all rights. And you and I both had him putting up a 50 number on Arizona State, and that sure as hell didn't happen.
I should have listened to my gut. Something told me, right, coming off of that game, that emotional back and forth, maybe game of the year, honestly, against Oregon. I should have seen that coming. Now, did I think it was going to go? I was a little more on the point spread, but did I think they were going to score 26 combined points? Absolutely not. But back to USC though, man, it's just when you have the 104th ranked defense in college football giving up over 400 yards a game, you're not going to win. I mean, you're not going to win. We saw Lincoln Riley took Oklahoma to the playoff. I think they were damn near dead last when they had Jalen Hurts there. But you just can't win football games like this. And with the studs that we have, granted, we don't really have anybody on the outside that can stop the run. But, I mean, we have Bear Alexander up front. We have a secondary that can make plays. I think it just comes down to scheming. And Alex Grinch.
And your defense is so small, too.
Yeah, our defense
there's not beefy, and there's not – it's just so undersized.
Yeah, we're undersized for sure. I mean, we've had big guys in the past, but USC is a lot more. I think that's just the West Coast in general, just more so about speed than girth, as opposed to girth. When you see those big ass SEC teams, I mean, we have Mason Cobb up the middle. He's definitely our defensive leader, but I mean, I think it's just we're getting exposed. The size is a very good point. It just looks like scheme-wise we're getting exposed. Like and hell, a lot of people have Utah as overrated. We lost to a backup quarterback that worked at Lowe's last year.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, and then we come out and we came back from, I think, what was it, like 11 late in the game, and then Caleb scored, and then I was like, as soon as they didn't get the 2 points, I was like, oh shit, we needed that. Sure the fuck enough, the roughing the passer call, Bear Alexander got ejected for because that was his second. I don't know if he got ejected because it was his second roughing the.
I think it was his second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I don't. Or there you go, unsportsmanlike conduct. Because I don't think it was. They didn't rule it as targeting, but yeah, he was pretty emotional about it. But they just can't stop. Like Casey said, they just can't stop a nosebleed. I don't know if I'd go so far as to saying. I mean, a lot of USC fans are pissed at Caleb. I've seen that. That I think the jury is still out on Caleb, but we just didn't. We get the ball and we score in. Was it like 4 minutes? We just can't stop anybody. But at some point, the offense is gonna just get. Tired of having to be on the field damn much. You know what I'm saying? Like the Notre Dame game, I would say that game we got exposed. This game, I think was just more or less we knew we would lose a close one because we can't stop anybody. When the offense has to constantly come out on the field, constantly play from behind, you're not going to do much. And we still have to play UCLA, Oregon, Washington, Cal, unless I'm missing one, but those are 4 of the games that we have left. It's just bad, man. Alex Grinch, I know earlier after I forgot who we had beaten. I think it was after the Colorado game. Lincoln Riley was like, yeah, I still have 100%, or that Alex Grinch was absolutely the guy. But we know, I mean, how much does Lincoln Riley really care about defense, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, does he even care about getting a good defensive core? Because me and Casey, I mean, we were on the show talking about it earlier this season. USC might not need a defense. They could just roll through everybody. But, I mean, looking at it now, we're 104th in the country. We're 9th in the Pac-12. And we need 8th in the Pac-12 defense. We need a defense. We can't be that low. And then we still have to play quality. And the thing is, too, man, like, we aren't the only dynamic offense in the Pac-12. It'd be different than – well, I mean, when he took Oklahoma to the playoffs, there were some good offenses in the Big 12 that year, but we're not going to be able to outscore not in this conference. I mean, shit, we still have to play UCLA. I mean, Cal has been up and down all year, but a lot of people are calling for Lincoln Riley's head too, which I don't completely agree with. But we have to put more of an emphasis on defense. Maybe it goes along with what Casey said, really just getting more size. I don't think we scare anybody on. I mean, shit. We gave up. I mean, that's what allowed Colorado to get back in the game against us. We just can't stop them. It's very hard watching a team that can't play defense. I mean, you would rather you wouldn't have either, but I think if I had to pick my poison, I'd probably choose to have a dominant defense. I just think having a dominant defense sets the tone for everybody else, and it puts more pressure on the offense. But I mean, it's Southern California. They're known as a flashy, fast-paced team. Like it's something's got to change, man. We're not making the playoff. We'll be lucky to make the Las Vegas Bowl this year. I don't think I would go that far, but yeah.
No, I mean, I see what you mean, though.
State.
I see exactly what you're talking about, though, Ian, because the way the expectations have dropped for USC in the past 2 weeks is astronomical. And going back to Justin's point, I don't know if it's Caleb Williams himself that's been exposed, but it does bring into question, can he carry a team? I don't know if that is truthfully as important as college football. That's something that I feel he could grow and develop over time. Right. I feel college more so than the NFL. It's a lot more about balance. It's a lot more about scheming. It's a lot not all about scheming. I'm so sorry. It's a lot more about balance, and it's a lot more about overall talent than it is compared to scheming.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And so when it comes to that, I agree with what you said, Ian. I just, especially like the size aspect too, but I don't know if there's enough talent on the defense to compete. And I don't know if that makes it so Caleb is exposed. So Caleb could go out, throw for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, and you guys could lose 35-28 because you can't get that stop at the end of the game to steal the deal.
Yeah, and I think you make a good point. Because the NFL, right? We know, they're all pros. It's definitely about scheming. In the NFL, a lot of the times in college, you'll just be, better than the other team. And I think Lincoln Riley
could just out-talent them. Exactly.
Yeah, and our offense, dude, is like so explosive. Like even Tyreek Hill, when he was at the USC game, says Zachariah Branch. He said, "I'm not the fastest person here right now." Like Zachariah Branch is a beast, but we can't stop anybody, man. And I think it more so, like I said, came to light when we played Notre Dame, because we saw we're going to play good defenses from time to time. Our offense isn't always, I thought they might, but our offense isn't always going to just talent their way to victory with the speed that we have. And when we come out against a team like Notre Dame, we got exposed, but hopefully we'll pick it up, bro. I don't really have it's not going to be this year. I think we lose at least. We might pull upset. I could see us beating Washington. I don't know if we're going to beat Washington, man, to be completely honest with you. We can't stop anybody, but Washington, they didn't look great this weekend against Arizona State. Scatterboo is definitely one of those wild cards, so I kind of get that, but I don't know, man. I'm happy for USC to be in national relevancy again. Shit, it's been 20 years, and like I said, I first started watching football when USC was winning championships, so it felt like a birthright for so long. Like USC has to be up there, but now it's coming to the point where I know how Red Sox fans felt for 85 years that we just can't get it. Because shit, we had Sam Darnold. 86. Oh, 80, yeah. 86, because the curse of the Bambino. But yeah, we just can't stop anybody. Like, who's been, before we get on to the NFL picks, who's been spoiled, and I'm kind of happy for him, is my dad, because he's a huge Alabama fan. I remember him watching him with Mike Shula, and that fan, like, dude, Alabama's run of dominance, and they smashed Tennessee this weekend, scored like 27 unanswered in the second half, but their run of dominance has really lasted since like 2009. Like, it's been like 14 years, and Alabama is always like top 4. He's definitely been spoiled in the Nick Saban era. Does Alabama have it this year? Who knows? They've looked shaky at times, and then this weekend against Tennessee, they just roll off 24 straight. That's one of those teams that you don't really count out, but they're also on it's win or go, not win or go home, but it's gonna be single. If they lose again, they're out of the playoff, even if they somehow take the SEC championships. But you fellas want to see how we did this weekend in the picks?
Oh, I definitely do.
And one more question. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't touch on the Michigan situation.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's a really good time frame to bring this up. Actually,
was worse. What in your guys' opinion? What cheating schemes have been worse? Michigan, Deflategate / Spygate for the Patriots, or the Astros cheating?
Hold on, you can't do Deflategate / Spygate because you got to think they came 7 years apart, so they're two separate scandals.
Okay, so if that's the case, I'll say Spygate. Spygate.
Okay, so
Michigan, Spygate, or the Astros with the trash can?
I'm gonna say Spygate, and the reason being is because of how long it went on for. Spygate, from what Eric Mangini alleges, New England had been doing since 2001.
Before they played the Rams, yeah.
Before they played the Rams in their first Super Bowl. So for that reason, for how long it went on for how many championships it may or may not have benefited from them, because we don't officially know. But for that reason alone, I'm going to say Spygate.
Okay, I can understand that. Ian?
That's a pretty good question. I would probably have to go Astros. Just because I don't know, man. It's like hard to pick. I mean, they all fucking cheated. Like Casey said, that did go on all year. I mean, well, or for years, I should say, for years. Yeah, I mean, it's essentially the same, no, like you were saying in the group chat earlier. Like, wait, what'd you say?
Cheating is cheating, yes.
But like Justin was saying to the group chat though, like in-game cheating, knowing what pitch is coming is I mean, granted, knowing exactly what play they're gonna run is a huge advantage too. But I think
you gotta execute.
Right, you have to execute.
You also have to execute your bat swing though.
True. But the thing is, baseball, I feel like the margin, because the pitch can be so close, even the littlest of detail, and it's at the same time, it's between you and the pitcher. You feel me? You could steal signs in football, but you still have to have 11 guys go out there. If you have guys banging on trash cans, there's only one guy has. What did they do it for? Was it a curveball or something like that? Or did they bang on the fucking?
They had 3 or 4 different trash can signals for depending on what kind of pitch type. So they would be able to tell fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, based on how they were banging on the trash can.
Okay, right. Yeah, no, it is tough, man, because like Casey was saying, they've been doing it for years. Football though, you have to have. I mean, you could just like Casey said, like, yeah, you have to execute in both. But when you have to have 11 guys going out there, knowing what 11 guys have to get it. In baseball, you only have to be the one batter that's understanding boom, 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 or boom, boom. So I think it just makes it a little bit. The Astros got more of an advantage with that, in my opinion.
I would agree. I think that I think real-time cheating is opposed to pre-game cheating. Granted, again, I'm not saying. I mean, even as a Patriots fan, I'm not saying that cheaters ever should prosper, because they shouldn't. But I think in real time, if you're actively cheating in real time and it's obvious that you're cheating, especially once it was known what was going on, you can watch it happen and watch how much the Astros just steamrolled through everybody as that was going on.
Yeah. No, that's a valid point.
The Astros was worse.
That's a completely valid point. And even kind of to add on to, not even add on to kind of almost diminish and take away from my point in a sense, is even after they got caught the first game of 2007, New England then went on to have a perfect regular season.
Right,
of course, we know what happened in the Super Bowl, but regardless of that, they still ended up having a perfect regular season. So I see what you guys mean, especially when it comes to the in-game cheating aspect, how much it truly helped the Astros knowing exactly what pitch is coming. Let me ask you boys this before we get on to our picks. What do you guys think of this narrative? And I don't necessarily think it's untrue, but I don't know how much truth there is to it. We all know the classic narrative when it comes to cheating in sports. They say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And they also always say every professional team cheats to an extent. They just don't get caught.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
I think it's true. I think the Patriots were stupid enough to get caught.
That's exactly, yeah, of course. Absolutely. They were stupid enough to get, no, not even stupid enough to get caught. Belichick was arrogant enough to do it against Mangini when he knew what they were doing.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Yeah.
He wouldn't have turned him in if they didn't do it against him, but he blatantly saw it and he turned him in.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think every team cheats to an extent, and if they don't cheat, they just about toe the line of like they're definitely crossing over that boundary just about. Does it make it right for? Does it like? I've never been a huge fan of the argument. So well, every team. Yeah, but I mean, we can't. We could sit here and I mean, what we're saying right now is all speculation. But I think Casey makes a good point about the arrogance to do it against a former assistant. It just shows Belichick.
Who was a part of it, and he knew about it.
I mean, I'll be the first to admit when I played baseball as a kid, I was able to pick up on from a third base coach what signal they were using to call for a steal, and then I was able to relay over in a sense like I would be able to pass the signal over to our catcher. Hey, we got a runner coming, and they'll know to call for a pitch out. But that's just again, I wasn't. And you still have to throw the guy out.
Of course, exactly.
But that more or less seems like something that you could have just like picked. I mean, because what were they doing? They were filming the Astros. What were they doing? Filming the fucking the team signs all season or something?
What they would do is that for the first 2 innings or so of the game, they would watch the foot. They would take the footage of the TV broadcast footage where they show the catchers dropping the signals for the pitcher, and then relaying it up to the pitching coach.
Exactly.
Now, I think when it comes to like your example, the baseball example was a good one, but that's more or less like he knows everybody can see him. It's just about what or they're nine guys.
I had to pick up on it to see what. So when he would do whatever it was, then they would take off. So it would take time to figure it out, but eventually I did.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's different than like, I think that's you more or less using your wits about you to be able to know what's coming. Whereas the batter is, he's not supposed to have any idea. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And like, he's
my
not,
point
he can't.
My point being that me picking up on the third base coach's signal, that's kind of towing the line. It's towing the line of, hey, I know what they're doing.
Exactly.
I'm banging on a trash can in the dugout because, hey, we know, hey, change up.
Now, since we're on the topic, I want to see if you guys would consider this as cheating or maybe towing the line. So I played NCAA basketball 08 a lot, and there was a glitch where you could just run the play fist and score every single play. I did that every game. Bam, easy bucket every time. So then we go and play Temescal Canyon in Lake Elsinore, and I see them, fist. I'm like, yep, I stole the fucking ball. Is that cheating?
No, that's not. No, that's
completely
play.
different.
That's called play recognition.
All right, cool.
That's play recognition. Exactly.
Absolutely not cheating. That's play recognition.
Well, yeah,
play
you're right.
Is executing the play, executing your defensive part of the play.
Right. I guess it's no different than guys that watch quarterbacks that watch film and they could, discover what a cover 2 is versus a cover.
Exactly.
And that's 100% correct. Now, before we got off into that little tangent, Ian was bringing up, something that kind of happened to all of us over this past weekend. And
Travesty.
That was, we got massacred in our picks last week.
Hosed.
Speaking of cheating, it feels like we all got cheated out of a few wins.
Yep.
It was a horrendous week. I mean, we can say who won the week, but I still don't think they should feel great about it.
I sure as hell don't.
I sent you guys. Well, I mean, we all had San Fran. Who was tied for number 1? Wasn't it Sean and Justin?
It was Sean and Justin who both had San Fran. So yeah. So we finished 5-8. They finished 6-7. It was not a good week for any of us here with the picks.
I thought you were gonna do better because, like you said, you were the only one that called. As a matter of fact, let me pull up the ones from last week. Go ahead. I'm just.
No, pull them up real quick. I'm gonna pull up the schedule for this week. We'll get into our picks.
So yeah, that's why I thought you did. Wait, let me see. Hold on. Raiders. I got it. I mean, if you guys could see my work computer, that shit is embarrassing. I'm so bad at organizing. Okay, so Casey was the only one that picked the fucking. Let me see.
No, the Ravens too.
Well, you had wait, hold on. In that game you had Baltimore. Sean had Baltimore, but I thought there was one that
The Broncos.
the Broncos. Yeah, that's right. You were the only one that had the Broncos. You were the only one that had the Rams actually. So that probably fucked you.
Yeah, that must have.
And then we all got absolutely slaughtered in the. And I mean the 49ers, man, I didn't see that. I mean, primetime Kirk Cousins, Jordan Addison, really cool to see him becoming a star in front of our eyes. He was easily our best offensive weapon last year. And yeah, really cool to see him. And St. Brown.
Vikings have a nice little 1-2 combo with him and Jefferson once he gets back up there.
Oh yeah. And I want to say Addison was picked first or second round, but I know he sat out our bowl game too, so he didn't fuck up it. So we knew he was going to
go first round because the Patriots passed on it about him and Jackson Smith and Jigba and Zay Flowers, and I was about to throw my something at the television watching.
Yep. So what do you boys say we dive into our Week 8 picks?
Let's go with it.
Starting off Thursday night, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have fucked me over twice in the past 2 weeks here, heading into Buffalo to face the Bills.
Buffalo's going to blow their doors off of them as revenge, as we didn't actually lose to the Patriots this last week. It didn't happen.
I got Buffalo as well.
I got Buffalo. Let me just. It wouldn't.
No international games this weekend.
Nope. Was there one last weekend? I don't think so, huh?
No, there wasn't.
Next week there is.
Yeah. This week we do not have any international. You said you're taking Buffalo as well, right? So us three are all on Buffalo.
Yes, sir.
So heading into Sunday, we got teams that share the same stadium. We got the Jets playing the Giants. I'm going to go with the Jets.
I hate picking the Jets, and I'm picking the Jets. I really hate picking the Jets. But I'm going to take the Jets. Coming off the bye.
Yeah, they are.
An impressive win by the Giants last week, though, over the Commanders. But I'm still taking the Jets.
Yeah, like you said, it was a very impressive win by the Giants. But considering the Jets are coming off the bye, and the last time we saw the Jets, they were beating Philly. I think I got Jets as well. I want to say Giants. I hope I don't get burned, but I think the Jets are playing inspired football right now.
Valid. Very valid pick. The next game that we have going on is the Jacksonville Jaguars heading into Heinz Field to face Kenny Pickett and the Steelers. Give me Trevor Prince Lawrence.
I'll take the Jaguars too, but I think this one's going to be a lot closer. Calvin really has not looked good the last couple weeks.
Sorry, you said Jacksonville, right, Justin? And you too?
Yep,
Casey?
I got Jacksonville.
Wait, you say who hasn't looked good the past couple weeks, you said?
Ridley.
Oh, Ridley, yeah. No, I agree with that. For a second, I was just kind of misheard you. I thought you might have said Trevor. I was like, have you seen his numbers?
No. Calvin Ridley hasn't looked like his first 3 or 4 weeks himself.
No, I agree. But yeah, Trevor's been playing phenomenal.
I don't know.
It worked for me, fantasy-wise.
It's hard to believe that the Steelers are 4-2, bro. Like it really is. And you said it's at
4-2.
Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah,
sneaky 4-2.
A sneaky 4-2. Yeah, I'm taking the Jags though. I'm taking the Jags.
Excuse me. Shit, man. Like I'm going with the Jaguars too. I'm not about to. Life is like a box of chocolates, and then the Steelers come out and shit the bed. Oh, and fun fact, it's not Heinz anymore. I think it's like Acrisure Stadium.
Oh, that's true. It is.
Yeah, a lot of people are right. Pissed off about that.
Still think of it as Heinz Field. I always will.
I still think of it as Three Rivers.
Oh my God, yeah, Three Rivers. I forgot all about that.
Wait, hold on. I thought Three Rivers Stadium was a different.
No, that was Pittsburgh.
No, that was the Steelers till what? 04?
03.
03. Yeah, close enough. All right, so
it was a different stadium, though.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
The next game that we have an NFC East battle. Philadelphia coming off probably their most impressive win of the season, facing off Commanders, who are coming off their probably most disappointing game of the season. As much as I hate to say it, give me Philly.
Philly. Fly, Eagles, fly. Don't like him either.
Give me the. Nah, I'm just playing. I got Philly too. All right.
Next game. I'm interested in this one, Mr. Blackwell. We have your Los Angeles Rams heading out to Jerry World to face my Cowboys coming off their bye week. Who do y'all got?
I got the Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys too.
Give me the Cowboys.
You guys realize that we've all had the exact same first
Yeah,
five.
I'm realizing that. There's a couple here that I kind of can go 50-50 on. So
Yeah.
The next game, we have an NFC North battle. We got the Minnesota Vikings heading to Lambeau to face Jordan Love and the Packers. Coming off what they did on Monday, 1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins. Give me the Vikes.
I'm liking what the Vikings are doing, and they took it to the Niners in relatively convincing fashion.
To be honest, if the Packers hadn't just lost to the fucking Broncos, I might have gone Green Bay. But I mean, that was a concerning loss. We all got the Vikings.
That's another one that we are dead even on. All right, so the next game, I think we might split on this one. I'm not sure. We have the Atlanta Falcons heading down to Music City to face the Tennessee Titans in Nashville.
Titans are another one of those teams. They just keep disappointing me.
This is also going to be a Will Levis Malik Willis game because Tannehill is not playing. So I'm going to take the Falcons in this one. Unless it's hard because Bijan Robinson was like a no show.
He didn't play yet. He suited up, but he barely played. He had a migraine.
Yeah. Atlanta might be in a little bit of hot water for that too, for not
reporting it.
I'm still gonna take the Falcons though.
Give me the Falcons.
Even though they might be playing backup, it's good. I think I think a lot of people are gonna be on the Falcons just because they barely beat because they beat Tampa. Give me the Titans. I think it's a really close game, but I think they get it done.
Next game, we have coming off their best performance of the season, the New England Patriots flying to South Florida to play a pissed off Miami Dolphins team. Give me the Fins.
I've got the Dolphins too, but if the Patriots somehow pull off that second miracle, I reserve the right to raise my eyebrow on the Patriots season.
That's fair.
I got Dolphins as well.
Man, we are on board with a lot of these games, guys. Next game, we have the New Orleans Saints traveling to Indy to play Gardner Minshew and the Colts.
This is what I think we're going to be 50-50 on.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me the Colts.
I got the Saints in this one.
I got the Colts.
Now we have, I think we're all going to be on board on this one, and this is such a weird game that we're all going to be on board on. Give me, we got the Houston Texans battling of the 1 and 2 number overall picks, going into Carolina to play the Panthers. Give me the Texans.
I got the Texans too.
Damn, Panthers have been so bad this year, bro. Like. Jeopardy music. Give me the Texans.
You gonna go with the Texans?
I got the Texans.
All right. So, and then the 4 o'clock window opens up with the Cleveland Browns heading to Seattle to play the Seahawks.
That's gonna be a good one.
Give me Seattle.
Give me Seattle.
What's the spread in that game? You said it's in Seattle.
It's in Seattle. Cleveland's also 4-2, shockingly enough.
I don't know, man. I mean, granted, even though they gave up 38 points this week, and Myles Garrett, I feel like that was, even though he's been pretty good for a while, I feel like that was almost his coming out party. That dude is ridiculous. What's Seattle's record? 4-2 as well, or
they're both 4-2.
Bro, it's in Seattle. 12th man. I got the Browns.
Is Watson gonna play? Because
That
Watson
is
came out.
that's a good
Because Watson came out of the game last week. Granted, I think Cleveland win this last week.
He's day to day. It's what it says. Yeah, Cleveland won by a point. They beat Indianapolis.
That's right.
Yeah.
We all lucked out with that call, with that pick.
Yeah, that was game of the year so far. All right, so for the 425 window, this one we might differ on as well. This is a really good game. We got Cincinnati heading into a place where this team now might actually be feeling some hot water. They're heading into San Fran, guys, to play the Niners.
I think San Francisco's going to come back angry. I got San Francisco.
Wait, sorry. Who's going into San Francisco? Did you say again? I totally forgot.
Cincinnati.
No. Fuck, dude. That division, AFC North, there is not a bad team in that division.
No, there's not.
The most dysfunctional might be the Bank. Did they win this past weekend? Or are they not
Had a
playing?
bye week.
Yeah, it was Armageddon. Fuck, dude. It's in San Francisco. Give me the Niners.
San Francisco.
Yeah, give me the Niners as well.
Hard for me to see them dropping 3 in a row. Because I mean, you're right though. That's if they lose this game, and I mean, if they lose this game before we get to the next pick, are we saying hot seat for Shanahan? I don't think so. But just
No,
Hot seat for Shanahan? No, absolutely not.
For Brock Purdy.
Yeah, for
That's
Purdy,
fair.
yes. For Shanahan, absolutely not. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs heading into Denver to play the Broncos. I'm guessing you two are taking the Broncos and I'm taking the Chiefs. That sound good? All right, cool. Let's move on.
Likely story. Taylor Swift is going to continue to follow the Chiefs along. So give me Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this too. Sorry, Sean. Give me Kansas City in a blowout.
Yes.
I'm sure Sean would have been like, yeah, man, I think we lose by 80. I don't know why I'm even contemplating. What is the spread for that game? Just for shits and giggles.
Give me 1 sec. The spread is.
Hold on,
Kansas
before
City
you
by
say
8,
it.
46.
I was gonna guess it before.
I
you
didn't
said it.
catch what he said. What was it? Or go. What do you think it is, Casey? Did you hear
No,
what he said?
I heard what he said. I
Oh,
can't
okay.
guess it. I heard it.
It's
Okay.
minus 8.5. And that. Oh, it's in Denver.
And it's in
Yeah.
Denver.
I don't trust that.
Do it,
Broncos
Ian.
defense.
Do it. Take Denver.
I'll save one of my bold picks for the later games. Give me the Chiefs.
The only way that Denver wins that game is if Mahomes or Kelsey gets hurt. That's the only way.
And even then, they might still lose by 20.
Exactly.
Next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens against the Arizona Cardinals. Give me the Ravens.
Lamar's going to run all over them. Zay Flowers looked beast mode instead of Lamar this last weekend. Give me
Absolutely.
Baltimore.
Give me Baltimore. God damn.
And then
Sunday night.
we have a game that, if this was taking place in December, would 1,000% be flexed out. This is the worst Sunday night matchup I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to say that right now. The Chicago Bears heading into SoFi to play the Chargers. I mean, give me the Chargers, but
Can't
but
get flexed out because, come on, man.
give me the Chargers, but also, who freaking cares?
I mean, it's Justin Fields. I mean, yeah, NFL
Fields isn't
love
going to
Justin.
play. He's out.
Fields isn't going to
Well,
play.
I'm
It's
saying-
Tyler Badgett.
No, I know, but I'm saying before the season started, like Casey said though, if this was later in the year, it would definitely be flexed out. Is he still out, right?
He's
it's
still
down
out.
Yeah.
Charger, no change in
He's out.
Give me the Chargers.
Charger.
But my God, who cares?
Exactly.
give me the Charge. I mean, this is a desperation game for the Chargers as well.
Absolutely, it is.
It is.
Did they play last week? Oh, they lost to Kansas City. That's right.
And I don't really think the Chargers are that great of a team, but I will say this: give me the Chargers in a massive blowout.
I think they're gonna smack their ass.
I'm not saying blowout, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a blowout.
Let's see what the spread is.
I'm say before you say it, I'm gonna say Chargers 9.5. No, not 9.5. Because they're not that good. I'm gonna say Chargers 7.
I'll
Ooh.
say -6.5.
You were closer, Casey. Chargers by 8.5.
Mm.
It's
Damn, it
in
seems.
SoFi, so yeah.
I mean, well, because they're
And then-
playing the Bears, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of Bears fans there. I mean, because LA has, and the Bears are a pretty big deal. So I feel like
So-
not as much of a road game as when they play the Cowboys, but there'll still be some Bears fans there for sure.
I feel like because this Monday night game, I feel like this particular week is the absolute worst week for singular primetime games, boys. Because I think all three of these are going to be a blowout. Monday night, we have like I said last week, Ian's Las Vegas Raiders
Oh, Lions, huh?
traveling into Detroit to play a pissed off Lions team.
Lions
by
a lot.
150.
Lions by a lot.
Is Jimmy G still out?
Don't matter. Lions.
I think he is still. I don't think it really matters.
Let me.
Oh, speaking of the Raiders, Brian Hoyer started for his eighth team.
And
the
also
Ish
about
Smith.
Brian Hoyer. Also, one other fact about Brian Hoyer. He is now 0-13 in his last 13 starts.
Damn. Well,
That's-
motherfucker.
and- One more fun fact. You guys remember in 2020 when Chase Claypool, when the Steelers started 11-0, and
Oh God, I saw this.
Chase Claypool tweeted, "Losing, never heard of her." He has now lost the last 15 games he's played in since then.
Yep, yep, I saw that.
He's the guy that spends more time on fucking TikTok than he does on in the film room, I'm sure.
Sounds more like Kyler Murray playing Modern Warfare.
Yeah, no kidding.
Speaking
So I'm
of,
assuming we're all on the Lions, right?
Yeah.
yeah, it's in Detroit. That place is gonna be fucking rocking. Give me the Lions. And there you have it, folks. The absolute least entertaining pick segment of this entire show. But
Yeah,
to lighten
this
it up with a little joke, since we were talking about the Raiders, I know you guys have heard the Jamarcus Russell playbook story, right?
Purple
Oh, of course.
drink.
Where they gave him
Absolutely.
a blank DVD.
They gave him a blank DVD and told him to watch it as film tape, and he came back the next day and said, "Yeah, everything looks good."
Oh my god. Yeah, that was easily the least entertaining. Like let me see how many games we actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games we were all unanimous on. The only games that we weren't was I had the Titans, you two had the Falcons.
I had the Saints.
Me and Casey had the Colts, you had the Saints, yeah. I had the Browns, you two had the Seahawks. And from there, we were unanimous. There you go, folks.
I mean, I'm honestly not shocked. It's not a real entertaining week.
No,
I mean, we'll see, though. I mean, who knows? It could come out. I feel like the sports books are going to clean up this weekend, and everybody's going to be expecting blowouts. Like, okay, yeah, watch this. They make the Buffalo Wild Wings call. Send it to overtime.
Yeah,
Patriots
I mean,
pulled the
that's
crazy
definitely
upset over Buffalo, so hey, stranger things have happened.
Oh my God, yeah. We're either gonna all get. I mean, easily. I think the person who it's my group to my week to lose, because I was the only one on two. Wow, it's only 3 games that we that we didn't all have the exact same opinion on. Out of what is it like 13, 14 games or something like that. It's fucking crazy.
Breaking
you
Red
fellas,
Sox news. Craig
you're good.
Breslow has been offered Chief of Operations job for the Boston Red Sox.
hey, I think your headset might be like on top of your head or something. Cause I could hear you, but it's very faint.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Is that better?
Oh, you know what? Let me turn my volume up. Go ahead, say something.
I would say
Okay, there you go.
breaking Red Sox news. Craig Breslow, ex-pitcher for the Red Sox, has been offered the Chief of Baseball Operations job.
That's great news for Boston.
Absolutely agree.
That
Absolutely.
division is so tough, though, man.
Yeah, it is. The AL East is no joke. It is heavy hitters from top to bottom. You got to think Red Sox and Yankees were the bottom 2 teams in that division. I don't think that's ever happened.
Well, only one
That's
team.
the
I think we
early
talked about.
90s.
You said the early '90s.
Early 90s is the last time it's been that bad for the Red
I
Sox.
mean, we talked about it briefly on the show before. Didn't I think it was only the Red Sox finished below 500, but it was only by 2 games, right? I think.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's Yankees should never lose. Oh shit, Diamondbacks are up on Philly in the second inning, 1-0. Man, I do not want to see the fucking Diamondbacks in the World Series, bro. Like, I'm sure the Arizona people would love it.
At least we don't
Granted,
have to see the Astros.
like, honestly, I know it
Amen
would.
to that. Amen to that. No,
I,
halftime score: Denver Nuggets up 63-54 in the Lakers.
yeah, no, so Lakers were down by like 14 at the beginning, so they're coming back a little
They were
bit.
down 17.
Oh,
Yeah.
were they?
They were down by a lot.
Yeah, no, as far as like you guys are glad that I guess I'm kind of glad, whenever the Astros lose, but I feel like they make people oh shit, Phillies must have just hit a home run. Game's tied now. But I feel like they have the Mayweather effect. Like people will tune in to see them lose.
I see what I know what you mean by
You see
that.
what I'm saying? But I mean, I could definitely see, especially since you guys have had so many run-ins in the play. But I mean, Houston, Texas is exciting, bro. That offense, Garcia absolutely destroyed. What was he, 4 for 4 last night? I think a home run.
Yeah.
Oh
That-
man.
There's so much going on right now in the world of sports. It's so tough to tackle everything that we want to talk about. One thing that I feel that hasn't really been addressed at all is that it's 2 weeks away? Not even less. It's way less than it's about a week away. We're a week away from the World Series, guys. America's Pastimes Championship, and we've barely even talked about it.
Yeah, no, it's
and this is something we actually kind of touched on earlier in the group chat. I think this is that's kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a referendum on Rob Manfred as a commissioner.
Absolutely.
He can't promote the game. Adam Silver, bona fide and top 2 commissioner of the All-American of the top 4 major sports. Absolutely, probably the best commissioner in the league. In the
No
four
question.
leagues.
No
I don't think
question.
it's even close. Goodell too, but I can't see him. I find him to be a little stuck up personally. I think he just can't. He's like reminds me of Bill Belichick, but being an executive in a sense. And I don't know enough about Gary Bettman to really have an opinion. So
That's fair. That's fair.
the thing with the NHL though, man. I mean, you see, I don't remember them, but hockey night, like every team in the NHL is playing tonight, and
Yeah, it's the Frozen Frenzy. Yeah, the Frozen Frenzy. Yeah.
I mean, like Justin said, like I don't really know much about hockey to really speak on it either way, but I feel like with baseball, there's so many opportunities. I feel like baseball has been getting a little bit of love this year, but I feel like the advent of sports betting being in like 38 states has something to do with it. Because now baseball's not.
November 1st, it comes to Maine.
Oh no shit! Yeah, Rhode Island already has it. New York is like the highest grossing state, but that's why. But see, you guys are still gonna be able to do like FanDuel for the daily fan. We don't even have that out here because I got a notification like, hey, we put $25 in your FanDuel account. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that shit. They're like, sorry, it's not allowed in Nevada. Are you fucking serious? But yeah, that's
come November 1st. Maine will have it both ways. We can do FanDuel, DraftKings, and we can put in some parlay. So I'm going to be hitting you and Sean up for some parlay advice coming up here real soon.
I mean, there are still like offshore sites you can use. Like my friend used to use them, but it's just so much bullshit having to deal with those sites. And only once you hit like a certain amount, you can't cash out till you hit a certain amount, like MyBookie, all those places. But yeah, no, it's gonna be. You said November 1st?
November 1st.
Oh, right in time for college basketball season. That's my shit, bro. That's the only thing. Like, I'll do my homework on the other sports, but that's the only thing to where I know what I'm looking. But basketball is also a game, man, to where like it's the most frustrating shit to bet on. I feel like college, whenever I bet the over, motherfuckers will go 12 minutes and nobody will score. And then NBA, when I bet the under, it'd be like, there's no way they're gonna score 60 points in 5 minutes. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but and it's just three. I'm like, why are you shooting the ball 5 seconds into the shot clock, man? Help me, help a brother out here.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I completely feel what you're saying. To change gears here a little bit, Justin, we have a big weekend coming up this week, my man.
Big weekend.
We have a huge weekend in college hockey coming up for the Maine Black Bears. I wish Sean was here because he could touch on Michigan State playing Boston College, but unfortunately he's not, so we don't really have much insight on it. However, we are heading to Quinnipiac, and this is a real test for Maine. We were talking about it last week. We truly feel this is the best team Maine has had on the ice in a long time. And this is going to be that true test. Man, they just blew the absolute doors off RPI last week. They need to carry that momentum. They need to play strong. I'm absolutely 100,000% not expecting a sweep against Quinnipiac. I fully anticipate to lose one of these games. I just hope the game that they do lose, it's a competitive back and forth type game. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. As long as we don't get the doors blown off of us on the game that we both expect to lose, then yeah. But should the line of Lyndon Breed, Josh Nadeau, and Bradley Nadeau light up the lamp like they did last week, 2 weekends ago, and they somehow pull the sweep on the road, I think it is safe to. I want to say presume because you know what that makes you have. You do what you presume, but I think it's safe to project that UMaine Black Bears will be back in the top 15, if not top 10, of the U.S. college hockey coaches poll by the next week.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree with that. And I would like to, I don't know if you know this, Justin. Over the past, I'd say 7 or 8 years, I've kind of molded Mr. Young Ian Blackwell over here to be a Maine hockey fan.
Oh yeah, that's my team. I don't give a fuck if Vegas ever does go. UNLV goes D1. That's my team. And besides, I'm in that little group that you added me to, man. It's just people love their Maine hockey. That's for sure.
We do. I mean, and unfortunately they don't run as much as they used to, but fans still travel. You'll still find Maine jerseys at every Boston Bruins game because Jeremy Swim is lined up between the pipes.
Absolutely.
Every single arena. Every single one.
No question about it, Justin. And you're right. Maine hockey isn't what it used to be. I don't know if they'll ever get back to that. They probably won't, but at the same time, there's still a deep fandom within the state, and it's beautiful to see, especially when they're good. It is an absolute beauty to see.
And this you guys, they touched the TV commentators touched on this, watching the games against RPI, and Ian, you probably remember this guy, but they have said that this UMaine Black Bears hockey team is the best they have seen since Paul Kariya was lacing up for the Black Bears back in the early 90s.
Oh yes, sir. Mr. Off the floor, on the board. That still gives me goosebumps, man. I remember that game. Dude got knocked fucking unconscious, and then Scott Stevenson looked like he had seen a ghost when he talked about it back on the ice, bro. Hey, I did see somebody saying this is the best that they've been since Paul Kariya, and then Casey last week went out on a limb and said didn't know if he was going too far, but then Nadeau could maybe win.
Bradley Nadeau.
Bro,
I think Bradley Nadeau could win.
I watched the highlights after.
Wow.
After the show, bro. Those what's the better one, right? Bradley.
Yeah, Bradley by far. And he's the younger brother, if I recall correctly.
He is. He's as of right now, like I was saying last week, he's a first-round draft pick by the Carolina Hurricanes.
They need some help too, by the way.
Yeah, they do. So he's something special. He's the best player they've had since
Kariya or Gustav Nyquist.
Yeah, he's their best player since Gustav for sure. I'm not going to put him in Paul Kariya status yet. He's got to get a chip before I'll say that.
Yeah,
but
fair point.
It's definitely a new feeling in Maine. I'm so happy that this team finally found a way to get back to what its true nature is meant to be. Now, is there anything else real quick that you boys want to tackle before we get into the question? I know we didn't really touch on much NBA tonight, but we kind of ran over with a lot of extra stuff that we've got going on. Do you guys want to go real quick, say your NBA champion?
Yeah, we'll go real quick with that, but I wanted to ask you guys before we move to that, aside, because I'm sure the Patriots, Celtics, Reds, all those teams is Maine hockey when they're good? Is that the biggest deal in the state? Because I've never lived there.
No, it's college sports. Yes, overall sport-wise, no.
Right. Yeah, the Celtics. What would it? Red Sox.
The Patriots, but probably the Patriots.
I think, yeah, the Patriots are probably the number one.
For sure. But yeah, no, no, you said you wanted to go over who you thought the NBA champion was
Yeah,
gonna be
let's just
this
go with
year.
our way too early NBA championship predictions. Right now, if I had to say, give me.
Are we talking about
Mil-
like who's lifting a banner or who's gonna be in the finals?
Oh, both.
Okay.
Give me Milwaukee over Phoenix in the 2021
That's
rematch
exactly what I've got.
with the same outcome, Bucks in 6.
Ooh.
There can be two. There can be two, too.
Celtics Lakers.
Ooh.
That would be beautiful. That would
Celtics
be
in 7
Oh, that would be beautiful.
at home.
Okay.
I mean,
Celtics in 7 at home.
All right, and then Ian, you said you got Milwaukee over Phoenix as well.
yeah, I got Milwaukee over Phoenix. Shit, I'd say 6 games as well. Honestly, Milwaukee over Phoenix in 6. And it would be so cool, man, to see LeBron and Tatum and Brown really write their own chapter in the I mean, because other than LeBron crying like a little bitch when he didn't get that call last year, which it was an absolute foul. I mean, LeBron.
Yeah, so even as a Celtics fan, nobody could deny that was an absolute missed call.
Yeah, dude, he got man, I love LeBron, but some of that but nah, I think LeBron's the best ever, but that's a topic for another day. But I know you had the question, so let us hear it.
So it's not the question I'm still gonna ask it because it's the only one I had. And it kind of needs all 4 of us to be on to do it the correct and proper way, because I need you to exclude yourself from it when I ask this question.
Mhm.
But we're going to continue on like Sean was here, and I want you to put him in it where you think he would fit best. Say us, like I said, excluding yourself. So, Ian, I'll ask you first. If Justin, Sean, and myself were on an NFL staff as coaches, who would you want as your head coach? Who would you want as your offensive coordinator? And who would you want as your defensive coordinator, and why?
It is a fun one, man. Shit. I think you and Justin are pretty damn. So head coach, I would probably go. That's a tough one between you guys, man. I mean, I've played against you in Madden, so I know that you. Fuck it. Man, that's tough. Give me. Because first of all, Sean's the defensive coordinator. I feel like Sean is a very raw guy, and he'll have guys ready to run through a wall for him for his defense. So Sean's the defensive coordinator. I already had that shit made up as soon as you asked the question. As far as head coach, I haven't known Justin as long as I've known you. Fuck, dude, that's a hard one. I mean, because you guys are both pretty right there with each other as far as football knowledge. I probably go Justin as the head coach, because I've played Madden against you, and I know you could call plays, and I think they're interchangeable, you and Justin. It's just because I had to pick. I guess I would go. And he's older, and Justin's older, so yeah, there you go. That's my logic.
That's fair.
We're just out of Cincinnati.
What about you, Justin?
Oh. See, I haven't played against either you or Sean in Madden, Ian. So, and I've played against Casey a lot. So,
How'd those games go, Justin?
So, I like your. I think you're on the right track with Sean being like the rah type. I think he would be good as a defensive coordinator, but also I can also see him as a head coach with the motivation.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
Give me Casey as an offensive coordinator for sure. He can call offense like no one's business. I'll take Sean as the head coach and he as the defense.
That's fair. I like that. Here's what I would do. I agree with Ian on this 1,000%. I think Sean would be a phenomenal defensive coordinator. He's got that rah in him. But at the same time, that works for a head coach as well. But I feel like it's more so needed for the defense. I think Sean would be the equivalent to like to like Dan Quinn in Dallas, where he just gets the defense fired up and ready to
Or
go.
Rex Ryan, I can see that too.
Yeah, that's how I would see Sean. So I would absolutely have Sean as my defensive coordinator. I would want Justin as my head coach. And the reason I'd want Justin as the head coach is I feel out of the four of us, he's the most level-headed. And so I feel like he could bring more people together in a time of need where I think that maybe Sean and Ian kind of both could go off raw emotion. I think Justin could base it more off logic. And so that's why I'd want Justin as my head coach. And Ian, I would want you as my offensive coordinator for the simple reason of I feel like when pressed, because you have a lot of unique takes and you have a lot of different perspectives. So I feel like your creativity is up. And so I feel like you could come up with a creative offensive scheme.
That's fair. And, you know, I appreciate Justin making me a defensive coordinator as well, because I feel like just hit that motherfucker. Hit him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, I'm 40. You feel me? But,
Hey, no. I appreciate you guys putting me as the offensive coordinator. I feel like that's a good fit for me. Obviously, you guys know my skill level in Madden is pretty high. I play it a decent amount, so I feel like that's the right
all
fit.
day long.
What's that?
I will rush with Michael Strahan all freaking night long.
Oh man, I feel like that's a good fit for me. I feel like that was, I know it's kind of like a different type of question than we've ever had on the show, but I just felt like it was fun.
Yeah, I like the question though, because again, especially taking yourself out of the conversation, like where do you see yourself? Where would you see that you? I mean, if you couldn't be in that room, who would you want in that room?
Oh, that's a good question too. I definitely, if I had to like place myself, I would definitely put myself as an offensive coordinator. As you guys both, I don't think Ian's ever played Madden Ultimate Team with me. You know, Justin, when we ever do squads, I run the offense. That's what I do.
You do, and you
did.
You will run that corner out till everyone just like rage quits.
So I definitely would see myself as an offensive coordinator in that aspect. And something about you, Justin, screams head coach. I don't know what it is. I just feel like that you have that ability to bring people together.
Yeah, I agree with Casey on that, because I think he put it better than I could. I said he was older just because I thought it was so close between you guys. But I think Casey, if his team started losing, I don't think he would do this. He'd be like, all right, guys, 3-0, we lost the game.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to say myself, I'd also say head coach. And as much as I'd want to have, because the other half of it is that the head coach has a ear into the defensive and offensive play scheme.
Yes.
So I can see it from the perspective of no, you got I'm watching I can see the trends. That comes from me being kind of like a math guy, because I can see, okay, so no, they're gonna focus on this, and like think of how often they're flashing runs, how often they're flashing passes. So that kind of thing. So I think a head coach, I think, could be a good spot for me, though. I'd want to be offensively minded coach.
That's fair. Completely fair.
Yeah, and I think another thing, yeah, because Casey hit the head on it, you know, that you're more level-minded, because when you're leading leaders, you know, you'd be leading the offensive coordinator, leading the defensive coordinator. I think being a little bit more level-headed is definitely good. You know, let those guys go based off of emotion. Let you know, the offensive coordinator's creativity shine through. Let Sean go and slap guys in the face to get ready for the game.
Exactly, and the head coach needs to be there to bring everybody back down a level.
Yeah, and kind of be the one that steadies the ship. Even though Casey, you've always struck me as a pretty level-headed person as well. I've definitely seen you get pretty illogical, especially when your teams are playing. So I would have to go with Justin for that reason. That was actually a really good reason.
I'm an extremely logical human being 95% of the time. Like, I use logic in every single aspect of my life, except when it comes to my teams. When it comes to that, something in my brain takes over and I'm like, fuck logic. Like, no.
I mean, but honestly, though, a lot of the times you're right. I mean, you've called a Celtics game like 3 minutes into the game. I mean, so it is some kind of logic, but I think it's a little bit of like emotion coming into play. And yeah, I mean, you guys are both pretty similar in that aspect, to be honest.
Crow, because I say, dude, you're the level-headedness. That's why I come back to no, wait, you're gonna eat crow. We're good. Don't don't.
Yes, that's
So-
where Justin's level headed. But Ian, you are right. I have called games a couple minutes in because I'm sure you guys have done this too,
With our
where
teams, yeah.
your team steps on the field, right? And you can tell 5 minutes into it, it's like, they don't have it tonight. Something's off.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, honestly, because like shit with the Rams, bro. Like the year they won the Super Bowl, I had a pretty good beat on them like all year. Like I was more hopeful for a Super Bowl than a lot of us were, just because I saw how good they could play at their full potential. I think
Yeah,
last
absolutely.
week I bet a lot on them just based off of pure just emotion, betting with my heart, which is something you should never do. But I think we all have a pretty good beat on our team just because we watch them more than you know what I'm saying? Like we watch every USC, Patriots, whatever
Absolutely.
Rams game.
And
So it's
Ian,
like,
I'll tell you this right now. If on Sunday, say Dallas, I know this is a very direct example, but say Dallas gets the ball first, they go 3 and out, punt to LA goes out and gets 7. Gonna be a long, long day for Dallas after that.
yeah, for sure. And I think that, my confidence level has grown in the Rams as the season has gone along. I think we're a lot closer to not Super Bowl contenders. I'm not trying to say that, but we're a lot closer to the team that won the Super Bowl than the team that we were last year. And last year we had a brutal schedule, and I'm pretty sure you guys beat us down pretty bad last year too.
We did with Cooper Rush, but on the flip side, Ian, on the contrary, I want you to watch out for something. On LA's first offensive possession, I'll say this, and I fully, wholeheartedly believe it. If one of two things happens, if we get a turnover, and it has to be this person directly, if Micah Parsons sacks Stafford on a 3rd down on LA's first possession to make
You guys
them
will blow us out.
I think we're going to blow the doors off you. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to what we were talking about how the game is going to be so like it could go either way just based off of the things that happen. I don't think that we don't have the talent to at least compete with Dallas or even beat Dallas. But like you said,
you absolutely do.
But it's in Jerry's world, man. That's going to be a tough game. Cowboys. I mean, you guys have what 4-2, right?
4-2, but we've won 10 straight at home.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I don't think we want to go into the bye week after 2 straight losses, and then we're going to come out 3-5, and God only
we're
knows
coming off a bye week too, though. You got to think that.
Right? Yeah, that's another thing too. But I think the sense, like, I think we're gonna have to come out and play with a sense of desperation. I mean, I'm not saying Dallas isn't gonna have a sense of desperation, because if you guys lose, then you're 4-3, and then you're right there in the middle. If you guys win, you're 5-2, and then you're gonna start separating yourself. But I think one thing we can all agree on is the Patriots are gonna get their shit pushed in this weekend.
Yes,
we agree. But again, I reserve the right to raise an eyebrow should they not. And one thing to take note of is that for the first time all year, the Patriots play with a lead in the first quarter. They haven't done that all year. They've been always playing from behind.
It was their first time leading a game in 3 weeks.
Yep. But the first time in the first quarter all year long.
No, I know, but then led a game in fucking 120 game minutes.
I know. My point being, though, if they were fortunate to pull something off like that again, to get ahead early, I'm not going to necessarily write off the game, but I will reserve the right to be surprised at the end.
I will say a 7-0 start would be hellaciously good for New England. I don't think a 3-0 start for New England does them any good.
Yeah, you got to score a touchdown first.
And Belichick likes to defer the kick every single time. Don't let Matt
take the ball. Take the ball. Here's the thing: if you take the ball, you better go get 7. It will be bad if you take the ball and you somehow go get 3. I still think it's going to be horrible for you guys.
Agreed.
But if you can take the ball and go get 7, put that pressure on Miami. I feel like you can hang with them for 2 quarters.
Agreed.
So
I mean, does Miami even have any comeback wins this year? I think every game they've
won, no. And think about this: Miami hasn't beaten a team with a winning record in 400 days.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
They have not beaten a team with a winning record. All the teams they played this year are trash. Their wins. Every team they beat is a horrendous team. So,
wow.
Anyways, boys, I think it's been great. We shouldn't ramble on too long here. We seem to do that at the end of the shows. It's been a great night speaking sports with you boys. I'm always looking forward to our Tuesday nights. Do you guys have any final words before we part?
Go Black Bears.
Let's go Black Bears, baby. I fucking love it. What about you, Ian?
Go Phillies, huh?
All right, Ian, are you going to close us off with a good night, Canada?
Good night, Canada. Make sure to tune in next time for Mixed Reactions. Bye.
Like and subscribe.